Hello and welcome to a channeled message about the timeline convergence that we're all amidst right now. If you're new to this channel, hello, I am Bree. If you're returning, hello and welcome back. I am a soul on the planet, just like you. I do not want you to feel when you're in this space that you're visiting someone transmitting a message can transmit a message you can't. I want to be really clear about every time that I'm channeling in this way, this trans-channeling way, that I'm always doing it in a connective fabric. In other words, I'm doing this in a way that will resonate with your higher self. And I'm doing this in a way that allows my higher self and my oversoul channel to just completely wash through. Now I have some questions because we're definitely going to be taking a trip up to, it feels like we're going to be going to a 12th dimensional realm to receive from the High Council of Light to get some clarity on what it is we're experiencing here on planet Earth. We've had so many timeline shifts, collective timeline shifts this year, 2025, and the shifts that occurred last week felt very big. And I mean big in that it affected everyone. It was a collective timeline shift. And so my intention with this video is to help us get some clarity, to help us align with our higher self-consciousness, to align with source, and to align with unity consciousness, which does feel to be the main effect we're receiving through these shifts. So if you can take in this message while seated or lying down, that's going to be the most conducive. You might get your own spiritual gifts coming through as I do this. You might see things, hear things, feel things, know things. One of my roles, I will say, here on planet Earth is to activate spiritual gifts and activate our internal guidance system, which is not only available to the top 1% or the select few or people that do breath work for 10 hours a day or people who are living in the Himalayas on a mountain. No. This is for everyone. So no driving or operating machinery. I'm going to settle in. I'm already feeling the guides present with us. I don't really know who's going to come through, but I'm intending that whatever comes through be for the highest and best good of all. You may want to drop your eyes shut for this, for many of you, but tune into your intuition on how to receive. I'm being asked to share the messages that are going to be coming to me in a quantum way. We have the High Council of Light that is presenting in front of us. They're showing to me in a circular table. And I'm seeing and sensing we have many ascended masters here with us. And they're wanting me to name them so that you can tune in specifically to how do you connect with these ascended masters and beings. We also have the Archangelic Collective holding down the grids. And they're also providing a field of transmutation around each of us that will lovingly handle anything that we release today in the way of a limiting belief, in the way of a pattern that takes us out of our alignment. They're also showing that we may identify in this session some thought forms or lines of dialogue that are active in our field on a day-to-day basis that we can see and release to repattern moving forward. In this transmission, we have Yeshua, Mary Magdalene, Kuan Yin, Mother Mary. They are showing to me as one group. We also have a group of Arcturian beings, a group of Pleiadian beings, and a council from the Andromeda galaxy. What they're showing me is that these timeline convergence experiences that we had in the way of a shift were collective. In other words, these shifts, they're showing me we've had 3 in this last week. 2 of them were substantial. And they were what they're showing me is shift the conscious shaping of all humans. And we had 1 that was smaller and only pertained to those of you that consider yourself a light worker or someone who's here to bring service to the planet. They're showing me that the 3rd timeline shift would have affected you if you can resonate with that you are here to make the world a better place in some way. And they're showing me that the reason that the 3rd timeline shift didn't apply to everyone was because everyone didn't have the bandwidth within their energetic field to receive it. And they're showing me these high frequency light codes as they come into the system. They recalibrate, they rewrite, they need room to enter. So they're showing me that any of you that experienced any bodily issues or mental disruptions last week, that was indicating to you the areas where there needs to be room made. So they're showing me that anything that would have shown up to you in the way of a hindrance is simply highlighting to you the energy that's looking to shift. That you are being asked to find a new perspective on or loosen your grip on. We have a group of Lyran beings that's presenting, and what they're sharing is that there is no longer these planets in Lyra that house and hold. They're showing me them as humanoid beings. They can also be seen as feline beings, these Lyran beings. What they're showing me is if you resonate with the Lyran energy, you may have throughout your life felt a sense of abandonment. And they're showing me that abandonment is not from your 3D experience. You're holding on to the memory of having your home taken away in Lyra. And some of you that are feeling this emotionally they're showing me your DNA has many They're showing it to me as Lyran gene keys. And they're also asking those of you that have dove into the Gene Keys by Richard Rudd. He's asking you, when you're reading it, can you tune into the origin point of the energies in the way of a star system? They're showing me that some of these gene keys have to do with these star systems. This is something that not many humans on the planet have connected the dots on, but it's something that we will. So they're showing me the reason that we are tuning into these star systems and starting to get to know them and understand their history, understand their essence, their eminence, is because we're becoming galactic citizens again. We are experiencing the multidimensional consciousness that we were always designed and really meant to experience. And then they're also sharing that some of you don't feel multidimensionality is real. And they're showing me that that's going to be an area of your consciousness that's going to drastically shift. So if you don't believe in the multidimensional, if you don't believe that you can access all the dimensions from anywhere, it's time to start considering that that could be a truth. Because that's going to be our tune-in on the planet. And they're also showing me that we will have presence from off-planet beings here, and it's going to be known, it's going to be well known, it'll be a big deal. And they want to prep us for this. They do not want to, this is the High Council of Light sharing. They're sharing they want to get us ready for this because they're showing me dipping the toe in the pool, and they're showing that their goal is not to push us all off the ledge into the pool. They are loving with us. They want to give us our own timing, our own pacing. Some of us will jump right into the pool. Some of us will be on the side, dipping our toes or letting our feet soak. Some of us will be getting in the water, but only to our legs. Some of us will be diving to the bottom and trying to go as deep as we can. And they're sharing all these energetics are valid. They're not meant to be rushed or forced. And they're sharing with me that that's a big part of my role, is to ensure that this is a loving experience for us. We're going to be meeting our galactic families. We're going to be meeting our star families. Many of us will be finding soul family leading up to this, so that when this occurs, it will be a reunion. It will be a day that we've looked forward to without knowing it. And they're sharing with regard to the waves of energy that we're moving through in our solar system and in our galaxy. We will be moving through bands of plasma that are light, and we will also be moving through bands of plasma that are dark. And they're sharing that the dark plasma is not something to be feared. It's a way of processing. They're showing me it's a way of having... They're showing me all the groups on planet Earth that have been minimized or disempowered or shut down or belittled or made to feel small. They're showing me when we go through the dark plasma belts that you get to have recognition during that time. You will feel reciprocity. You will feel closure. You will feel completion. And you will also feel the ability to be with these shadows or parties you're considering to have disempowered you in a ways that allows all on the planet to see what is going on very clearly, including beings that could be in distortion. So they're showing me that when we go through the dark plasma belts, that this is doing a very significant energetic service to any beings that are in distortion, because it makes the distortion highly uncomfortable. And they're showing me that it's powerful practice for us to understand the difference between darkness and distortion. Darkness is the absence of light. Distortion is the tangling of light. So they're showing me that distortion becomes very uncomfortable because somewhere within us we know it's a lie. It's not pure. It's manipulated. And then they're showing me this should help us to accept what duality is on planet Earth, because they're asking us to find it within us to accept duality in order to step into unity consciousness. They want us to be the space holders, to observe duality without engaging in it. They're sharing that unity consciousness is still birthing. It's still awakening in the planet. And so we would be served to accept the processes we will need to go through in order for it to fully birth. They're showing me Earth and the birthing pains that Earth is experiencing as she shifts into this higher dimensional state. They're also sharing with me that Mama Gaia is here to serve us in this. She's here to help hold what we release so that it can be alchemized and used for service in the highest good of all. And now the Pleiadian beings are stepping forward to just share with us a field of love. They're showing it to me as very pink light and magenta light. They're emitting the blue ray and the magenta ray into our fields, if you accept that. What these two rays will assist you with is the ability to communicate and process what you've experienced in the way of pain or trauma, and also have the ability to elevate from it so that you do not stay stuck in it. So they're asking us to express ourselves, to communicate, but do not stay there, is what they're sharing. Allow yourself to become light enough to elevate from it. You don't have to stay stuck in it. And now they're landing us. They're landing us. And as they do, they're just asking for me to express that this is a bit of a new format of me to channel, and it's taken me time to calibrate, but it is, they're showing me the wave with which I will be surfing over the next few months, because what they're showing me is, and all of your energy is now staying with you, and my energy is staying with me. What they're showing me is sometimes when I used to do the trance channeling, it was because it was something that I needed my conscious mind at rest for. But I have done significant work in my belief system and my programming and my own conscious space that now I'm able to be more present in these transmissions. So instead of allowing them to fully speak through me in a trance type style, I am traveling in my light body. I am hearing from these parties, just so you have an awareness of how this works for me personally. I can feel that some of you might be wondering. So I'm hearing from all of them in a very quantum way. And then I am translating what they're sharing with me. And so they're asking me to just share that that's part of the way I'm going to be bringing through these transmissions. I will try to be more regular here with my channelings, but if you do enjoy this energy, my energy healings, my channelings, my light language, the way that I'm embodying my gifts, you would be very, very, very well served in the energy healing membership. You can try that out for a week free, and then it's $11 a month. Person to person, I can share with you that my goal is to get this space loaded up so that I can just continue to improve my quality level and share my gifts in a way that will be truly of service and in a way that your conscious mind can get on board with by knowing that you're not spending more than what you would spend on your TV subscriptions or your entertainment subscriptions. So the price is low, but the value is high. And I ask you, if you do decide to go in there, surf around the videos, look at the titles, the pictures, grab the videos that call to your attention. This is not something, it's the same with my book. I wrote Space Library, Beings of Light by Brie Marie. Everything will be linked below. But you don't have to do these in a sequential order. You don't have to do them in a linear sense. So with my book, with my courses, with my memberships, you can go around in there and take what calls to you. You know, read the chapter that calls to you. Watch the video that calls to you. It does not have to go in an order, and we're very trained to believe that that's how it needs to work. That's how it was in 3D consciousness and in the 3D paradigm. But things are shifting now, and we're much more multidimensional. This is where I am today. This is what resonates with me today, and allowing that to be. And I'm going over here now, and over here now, and over here now, and oh, this is coming in now. Be willing to shift. Be willing to see new perspectives. Be willing to consider that every gift you see me here showing up with, you have too. Please be sure to hydrate following this transmission. My intention is that you feel lighter now. You feel clearer, more at ease. And I would love to hear in the comments how you received this. I'd love to get you liking these videos, commenting, subscribing. I'm here to show up and serve. And I'm going to do that best by knowing what you need and what you would like. So don't hesitate to share with me where it is you desire for me to explore with you and our guides. Let's all take one very deep breath together. Namaste.